Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Zidane Hamid and I'm 7 years old. And today our topic is Normandy. Now, most people think they were French, but they actually came from the Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden and Finland. Let's start. Some about 127-28, a boy was born. His name was William the Conqueror. Now you might have heard of him, but not a big history of him. Okay, now he became Duke of England at the age of 8 years. That's a pretty complicated story. Let's go on. Now, when later on, many years later, Edward the Confessor, he died. He was the king of this France. Now, he, aka William the Conqueror, wanted to claim right of the throne. He wanted to be the king. Now, in case that Harold Godwinson took place of this Normandy thing, then he became the heir. Now, this angered very much William the Conqueror, as he thought that he was the righteous king of this place. So then he just led some 2,000 troops through this little cut from Norway to France. Amazingly, there were so many enemies, but he survived. So that is one good army. So we can say he was very great general. Now moving on to the Battle of Stamford Bridge. Now this happened when he almost gained control, and this one was the match between Harold Godwinson and William the Conqueror. This battle was a decisive movement. And surprisingly, William the Conqueror won and tried to get to Harold Godwinson, and he got to Harold Godwinson. And then in the Battle of Hastings, Harold Godwinson got an arrow in the eye, and he died. And that's how William the Conqueror gained this place. Now, one thing I have to mention you is, now these people origin from the Vikings, as you know. Vikings, you heard the name Vikings everywhere. Even a strategy is named after. Even a strategy game is named after Vikings. Now you heard about Vikings a lot. You don't know what is their picture, because everybody thinks like in the pictures, blokes with their helmets sticking out with horns. That's what everybody thinks. But that's wrong actually, because that's not the thing in the pictures. They actually wear these round little iron caps shaped like little mice, and they just wear it on their face. That's what. How is that actually? Does that spoil the picture? Link it. Tell me how much it spoiled the picture. Maybe not a bit. Just these cute little caps wearing round horn helmets. That's what their original picture was. Cut the horns and you get the helmets. Now, moving on. Now, how did these people came? These people came from these Nordic countries, just like Normandy. Now, they settled and did some gruesome games over there. It's like some business. Like, they sometimes gang this country, gang that country, and then they get England at such a rapid rate. They're called Mongols actually, yeah? The Mongols of the Europe. And they even went far as Canada to communicate actually. And they actually ruled for 200-300 years, but they conquered almost this much part of Europe. Almost all. And that's the thing about Vikings. They weren't only just barbaric Mongols eating meat and saying blah, blah. They weren't that actually. They were also pretty skilled sailors. And let me tell you one more thing. They had this special type of ships called long ships, that you see in the movies. Macintosh. That's I'm just kidding, but still, these long ships, they're being shown in many movies. 18 paddles sticking out of one and 18 ships. That's what they show. But that's a bit right in the long ships. Now, going on. And this is what the Vikings did. The gruesome games, getting people, slaving them, getting their territory, until this guy named King Ella tried to get their king, and they got Rhaegar Henry Bridges, and they just threw him in a snake pit. Now see, Bridges' sons, they saw that what happened, and without a second thought, they were gruesome, ripped King Allah's bones out and broke his rib. Now see, without a second thought. Now that's the problem when you do something without a second thought. But they still were staying in good position, except when England came a bit more furious, and then the Vikings were finished, but that's not the end actually. Now France, on the other hand, was just a noble country. Charles was simple. He wasn't simple actually. It's just a name. But still, the Vikings borrowed so much France that France at least gave half of his part to the Vikings. But the Vikings, they are, very gruesome and they want all the land. They just invaded it. They took all the land. Just taking all the land from Charles the Simple, becoming more powerful, attacking. That's their gruesome games. Explain the gruesome games in a nutshell. Now I'll tell you one more thing. That they also had good explorers. Eric the Red went to Greenland, discovered it, and then there is Leif the Lucky. You don't want to hear about him. Forget Christopher Columbus as a hero. Leif the Lucky was the actual Christopher Columbus. Now see, he wanted to go on a trip to Greenland. Instead, his ship went off course and went to America. The first Viking, many years before Christopher Columbus, set foot in the soil of America. But that's not the end. But still, he called it Wineland because it had wines, grape wines. He thought there were grape wines on it. And that's a good thought. Okay, now you've got about the Viking, what they were, how they were having the long ships and the cute horns. They didn't have that. And now let's talk about their culture. Now see, these people always were wearing these metallic armors with some Mad Max goggles coming out, and that's their dressing actually. And that's how you see them in the movies, and that's not like it. It's a bit different. So then they actually eat those rough brown bread with these hairy sheepskins and tunics, and they also. But these rich Vikings ate the other food instead of this bright brown stuff. It's kind like, when I'll give a video on China, I'll tell you about it, what happened in China. But let's just say that China had these system of merchants coming important. First, the emperor important. Second, the noble important. Third, the merchants important. Fourth, and so on. But fourth was the peasants. Fifth was the merchants. Merchants were very rich, but they came in the fifth. Okay, but if you wanna just see it, let me tell you in a nutshell about China. Okay, China, you see them in the movies, you think that some chariots with riding and this and that. That's not the thing. Okay, first these dynasties came, and King Xia, also known as aka Sintusi, or it's something more pronounceable. It's a bit hard to pronounce. But he made this terracotta warrior thing before his death, and you don't want to know about King Xiaomangi's reputation. He just buried the authors in the ground because he didn't want anyone else to influence the world. He just wanted himself to influence. And now China, it was a really prosperous country. And then there was, the Han Dynasty, China Han, Let me talk about this for a while. Now see, China Han Dynasty, there were many things invested that time, like paper, gunpowder, and now there were also, those tiny little brown tracks things. You want to know about that in a whole new episode. But, there was some division coming in it. And this part divided, this part divided, this part divided, this part divided. And then it was all in chaos until another dynasty came, when a family died. Okay, now see, women, they had foot blinding mostly. Because they wanted to, their foot was small rather than regular size. Why? Because they bend their foot inside the shoes, and then it stunts the growth of the foot, and then your feet get small. But they look pretty ugly when you use barefoot. But now here's the thing, foot blinding. Now you can't even barely walk if you bend them all day. And that's why it was banned in just 1920. 1925, just a little time ago. Now, after these dynasties came and then the first woman emperor of China came one time, and security tried to stop them. I wish I could make a whole movie on that. The security tried to stop them, but this is the problem. No empire except China put a woman empress. So it was the first dynasty. Now, in 1862, now this is a very foolish decision. Empress Dogsway Chi said she had a marble model of a Mississippi paddle steamer, and she thought that was good instead of a whole big Navy battalion. Boat to nowhere and you don't have a boat. You are just loving a marble boat instead of your Navy. Okay. Now the last guy in China was Henry Puyi, and this guy wasn't a nasty piece. He was just a guy who just was a little boy, and his name was Puyi. This is a top secret. Don't tell anyone, because his name was named because of the smell of his diaper. Okay, that's a good name. But okay, he gave up the throne. Now I didn't mention, we have to also talk about a bit 2 civilizations before we leave. One last civilization. Let's talk about Egypt, ancient Egypt. Now you see in the movies, ancient Egypt, pyramids going up, and the shepherds and this pharaoh over here. But it's a bit different story. Now they had many gods, and then they give the respected name to their kings, and that's the funny part. They actually swapped things from the shop and started buying it for money. They swapped it on fixed price. Now, see, these Egyptians were a bit different from the other civilizations. They had, many different things like the pyramids of Egypt. People thought till now that they were made by aliens. And yes, now we have some evidence. And they were also known to many rulers like Cheops and other rulers like Cleopatra. Okay, now these people, now let me talk about it. There were some nasty pieces of work who murdered people, and now there were many nasty pieces. I don't have enough time to talk about them, but there was a lot of big growling in the Egyptian center. But let me talk about one thing. Now, you know about King Takuntum, died at the very young age. King Takuntum, and you know about him because his tomb was excavated in 1922, and this was carried out by Harold Carter, and he hired Lord Carnarvon for it, and Lord Carnarvon died because of disease. Now see, these prophecies were written that he will die if you go with the tomb of Takuntum and this and that, but he died because of these spores and these bacteria out there. And that's why archaeologists wear gloves. Okay, now we have many other videos on this and that. So I was trying to tell you about many civilizations, how they changed the course of the world. Stay tuned for our next video. Until then, I'll be waiting for your feedback. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on my Facebook page. I'll be waiting for your feedback. Allah Hafiz!